Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I have Samir Gupta, the Battle Mountain High School hockey coach and a dear friend of mine. How are you doing, Samir?
I'm doing good. Yeah. No, I'm actually just an assistant coach.
Assistant coach.
Just helping out with the goalies.
No, but that's amazing. I want to hear about this because I know hockey is one of our favorite sports here on Good Morning Vail.
Yeah.
What exactly do you do?
So I've been around the game since I was 5 years old on ice skating since I was 5. But basically, we've had a long line of coaches that have been there for a long time, but they needed help with goaltending. It's usually a position that kind of gets left behind. There's not a really specialty coach that does it around here. So the head coach got in contact with me just through other connections that we've had this fall, and asked me to come out and help him out. And so I've been on the ice 3 days a week, helping them out.
And I have to say, Samir, how long have you been in Vail Valley?
17 years now.
I was going to say you're a longtime local because you might recognize Samir from one of the many restaurants and places that he's worked. I think that everyone in the Valley knows you and loves you.
There's good chance, good possibility I've served you a cocktail in this town.
100%. That is truth. Now, Battle Mountain High School, how are we doing with hockey?
We've had a little bit of a slow start. I think we're finally getting our groove and catching on, and the kids are picking up, and they're starting to, feel like an actual team, and we're connecting. And we had a great game this last Saturday. We won 11-0.
Oh, wow.
So we had a big game, a big confidence booster. But we got a couple league games this weekend. So tonight is actually in Breckenridge.
Oh, my goodness. So you're traveling a lot because you said Breck and then maybe Glenwood.
Glenwood tomorrow. And we did, last Friday, we were down in Aurora.
Wow.
Last Saturday was down in Monument.
Wow.
So,
You're getting your miles in through the snow.
Next week's in Crested Butte.
Oh, wow.
So, we're all over the place, all over the mountain towns.
So what does it look like as far as the schedule? Because I know in high school I played a lot of sports, and I think it is very important for, we'll touch base on this, kids, to be in these kinds of sports to learn a lot of different things.
The camaraderie, the teamwork, all that stuff. Communication is huge.
100%.
That's one thing we push on the ice is like our kids need to talk more, communicate more, and then, there's also the bonding moments too, the overnight trips. We're doing Gunnison and Durango trip in a couple of weeks.
Oh, cool.
So the guys get to stay down there, we get a hotel room for the kids, and then last weekend we did the same thing in Denver.
Cool.
Just, it makes traveling back and forth
a lot
less
easier.
Especially with the roads the way they've been the past couple of weeks.
So what does a day look like, or a couple of hours? Like, how much do the kids train?
Unfortunately, ice time is very hard to come by.
Okay.
So since I'm working at nights, I can only really make the morning practices. So we're on the ice at either there's varsity or JV at 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:15 in the morning. And then about an hour 15. Some of the kids, they have to rush off to class. Some can stay a little bit later.
Right.
So some get an extra 15, 20 minutes on the ice. But it's they're putting their work in.
Well, and that's what I think is so interesting is I don't think people understand high school sports are a big deal. Like to be up that early before you're even going to class and learning for so many hours, that's a lot of dedication and motivation to get up that early.
I give a lot of credit to parents too, because we've got a very young team, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. And the Battle Mountain High School team consists of kids from Eagle Valley High School, so down Gypsum. We've got Battle Mountain High School. We've got Vail School Academy. So kids from all over the county are pretty much traveling here. And the ones that have to come up from Gypsum on a Monday or Wednesday morning, those parents are up leaving Gypsum at 5 a.m.
Wow.
God bless them. I don't know how. Like, I have a lot more respect for my parents now growing up and looking back at what they did for us.
Isn't that wild? As you grow older, you're like, wow, like they had real lives and they put me in the center of their world.
It's it's a lot.
It is a lot. Well, that's amazing. So how can someone find this schedule to come and watch you guys play?
So Battle Mountain High School has all the schedule on there as well. You can access it through Max Preps as well. Okay. You kind of just follow our teams or whatever, and all that whole schedule is there. Next Saturday we have a game. It's at Dobson, home game.
Awesome.
So that'll be a fun one. And then we have a bunch more through February, and then the season kind of ends early March.
That's what I was going to say. How many games have you guys played?
We're 2-6 at the moment. So we've had a very slow start, Right. But again, we're a young team. We're building. We're getting better and better and better every practice.
I like the positive attitude. Yeah. It's truth. And last week you won
11-0, which is a big win for us.
That's huge.
We needed that for just to
Confidence.
See the puck go in the back of the net was huge for our kids.
Self-esteem. Yeah. I love that. Okay, so let me ask you this question: how many people do you have on the team right now?
Team. So we have about between players that are rostered, kind of between varsity and JV, roughly around 35 to 40 kids. 40,
Wow.
40 players, yeah.
Because ice hockey, when I was growing up, wasn't a huge thing, even though I lived in Ohio, but I've seen it more and more and more throughout the years.
So I grew up in Indiana. It was the same way.
Oh,
It
right
was a growing sport, and now it's just gotten more and more popular.
Huge.
You know, you see, especially here in Colorado, the Avalanche winning the Cup a couple years ago. So it's
Yes.
you know, there's a lot more interest in it, and I'm loving seeing like the women's teams and girls teams growing up, coming up.
Huge.
So
Yeah.
you know, like the younger crew, like the Vail Mountaineers, they have co-ed teams, and they have
Cool.
A buddy of mine that's been here, he's coaching his little girls team, which is adorable.
I
Seeing them
love
on
that.
the ice. So
I love that. Well, and I love that message that all sports are for everyone.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, it's just fun seeing the sport I've loved for over 35 plus years now.
I'm there with you right now. I got it.
It's just growing in popularity, you
Right.
know, and there's a lot more interest in it around here. And like, I've been doing private lessons with my friends' kids now, you know, that
Right.
are coming up through the Mountaineer program.
How
so
cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So what do you do exactly? Because I know you're a specific coach, and we talked about that a little bit, but what does a day look like for you?
my day works.
Well, not the whole day, but you know.
So on the ice, I'm basically there. The hardest thing about playing goaltender is learning fundamentals and
Okay.
technique, and it's a positioning game. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how quick you are. If you're in bad position, you're going to be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So getting down to the basics and bringing kids back to understanding where they are, what they need to be, and how to play the position properly. You know, and then obviously instinct and reactions play a big part of it.
Right.
But if you're in the right position, that's 90% of your job.
I love this because it goes with life. Like you were saying, it's life skills.
Mm-hmm.
Like just you, I was kind of thinking as you were speaking, that's everything in life. So it's so neat that you're teaching a sport that kids love. It's healthy, it's happy, but also you're teaching them life goals and how to like kind of navigate life as well. Yeah.
And the hard part is too, is like these kids, like they are getting up so early.
Oh my gosh.
And to be awake and to focus, and especially being a goaltender, like you have to be ready and focused.
Right.
As soon as you get on the ice, as soon as you put your helmet on, to have pucks flying at you at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour.
That's scary. I can't imagine.
Luckily, pads, they protect you for the most part. But it's a mental thing, too, and getting these kids ready to be on the ice is huge. And just have fun with it. You know, practice is hard, games where you have your fun times. And that's what I kind of try and preach. Like, put the work in, and you'll get to the position and eventually get to where you want to be.
That's kind of always my question, right? Like, you want to show these young adults that it is a game and that there is a competition to it, right? And they want to win and to have that, but also to have fun. Is that a hard kind of transition, like a line to dance?
It is, because you obviously want to win, right? That's the whole goal, right? But you want to have, like, we've always preached that you want to have fun with it, but it takes hard work to get to where you are. Like the kids you're playing on the opposite side of the ice, they want to win just as badly.
Right.
So it just comes down to will and fight and heart and pushing yourselves to that point where you are the better team, the better player, you know? Like,
yeah, that makes complete sense. Well, Samir, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to come and watch a game. I'm
you
super
should.
stoked for it.
Next Saturday, the 27th at Dobson is our next home game.
Awesome. And you
So-
do have a bunch of home games
We
coming
do
up.
coming out through February, yeah. We
Okay.
just actually, I think, got one rescheduled for February 17th, and there's a bunch in the early month. I can't remember exactly.
Cool. And you can go to Battle Mountain High School
And Max
website.
Preps as well.
Okay, awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
And keep it right here. We have more of Good Morning Vail to come.